That's not a scare tactic. That's what happens every single summer. Good, loving dog owners who are trying to help their dog survive heat stroke end up accidentally making the situation more dangerous. And the worst part? They had no idea. Today I'm going to change that. In the next few minutes you're going to learn exactly what heat stroke looks like in dogs, the 5 emergency steps that could save your dog's life, and, most importantly, the 2 critical mistakes that almost every dog owner makes that can turn a survivable emergency into a tragedy. Stay with me. Because if you have a dog, this information isn't optional. It's life or death. Here's something that will stop you cold. A healthy dog can die from heat stroke in under 30 minutes. Not hours. Not days. 30 minutes. On a warm afternoon. In your backyard. Most people think heat stroke is something that only happens when dogs are left in cars. And yes, that's a major cause, but heat stroke can strike during a walk in the backyard, or even inside a house with poor ventilation. And here's what makes it so terrifying. By the time most owners realize something is seriously wrong, the clock is already ticking on internal organ damage that can be completely invisible from the outside. Heat stroke isn't just overheating. At its core, it's organ poisoning. When your dog's body temperature climbs above 104 degrees Fahrenheit 40 degrees Celsius, you are in dangerous territory. But when it crosses 106 degrees Fahrenheit 41.1 degrees Celsius, that is the point of no return if action isn't taken immediately. At that temperature, the body's cellular proteins literally begin to break down. They cook from the inside. The liver, kidneys, brain, and gut all begin to take damage simultaneously. Damage that may not show up for another 12 to 48 hours after the crisis appears to be over. This is not a headache. This is a biological emergency. Before we talk about what to do, you need to know whether your dog is walking around with a higher target on their back. Flat-faced breeds, pugs, bulldogs, boxers, French bulldogs, Shih Tzus, and Pekingese, are in a completely different risk category. These dogs physically cannot pant as efficiently as other breeds. Their airways are narrower, their ability to cool themselves is severely limited, and in high heat they are the first to go down. Thick-coated breeds carry a built-in insulation layer. Great in winter. A serious liability in summer. Senior dogs, generally 7 years and older, have reduced cardiovascular efficiency and a slower internal thermostat. Overweight or chubby dogs carry extra insulation and put more strain on their hearts during heat stress. And 2 groups that almost nobody talks about: dogs with heart or lung disease and dogs on certain medications like diuretics or antihistamines. These dogs have compromised cooling systems and can hit dangerous temperatures shockingly fast. If your dog falls into any of these categories, you cannot afford to be casual about summer heat. You need to be militant about it. Here's the hook. The signs start subtle. Then they turn catastrophic. And the window between the two is shorter than you think. Early warning signs. Don't ignore these. Watch for heavy or frantic panting. Not just regular panting after exercise, but desperate, relentless panting that doesn't slow down. Look at your dog's tongue and gums. In the early stages they turn bright red, what veterinarians call hyperemic gums. This is your first visible alarm. Thick, sticky drool is another red flag. Saliva thickens when the body is dehydrated and heat-stressed. You may also notice restlessness. Your dog is uncomfortable, can't settle, keeps moving and shifting. Combined with weakness or lethargy and excessive thirst, these early signs are your window to act before this becomes a full emergency. Severe signs: call a vet now. When gums turn purple, blue, or pale and ghostly white, stop everything. Blue gums mean oxygen deprivation. Pale gums mean the body is going into shock. These are not warning signs anymore. These are emergency signals. Other severe signs include vomiting, diarrhea, and bloody diarrhea. This is the intestinal lining breaking down. Stumbling or ataxia, trembling muscles, seizures, collapse, and loss of consciousness mean your dog's nervous system is failing. At this point, every second matters. This sounds obvious, but how you do it matters. Get your dog out of the sun, out of the car, and off the hot pavement as fast as possible. Move them to shade, a cool tile floor, a basement, or any breezy area. Here's what most people don't know. Every single movement your dog makes generates more body heat. So once you've moved them, keep them still. Don't let them pace. Don't let them wander. If you have a large dog, carry them, and support both their chest and back while doing so. This is the step where well-meaning owners accidentally make things dramatically worse. The mistake: reaching for ice cubes or ice-cold water because logic says colder equals faster cooling. The truth: ice water causes a biological reaction called vasoconstriction. The blood vessels near the skin shrink. And when those vessels shrink, they trap the heat inside the body where the organs are. You are literally locking the heat in. The temperature underneath stays dangerously high while the outside feels cool. It's not just ineffective, it's harmful. What you should actually do. Use cool tap water. Ideally between 59 degrees Fahrenheit and 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 25 degrees Celsius. Pour it or wipe it gently onto the most effective cooling zones: belly, inner thighs, paws, neck, and armpits. These areas sit directly over major blood vessels. Cooling them is the fastest way to bring core temperature down safely. Do not wrap your dog tightly in wet towels and leave them. A wet towel draped over a dog immediately turns into an insulating layer, trapping moisture and heat against the skin and completely stopping evaporation. Instead, place your dog on top of a damp towel. That's the surface cooling approach that actually works. Re-wet constantly. A dry towel is actively keeping heat in. A wet surface actively pulls heat out. Here's the science in one sentence. Wet skin plus moving air equals faster heat removal. This is called evaporative cooling, the same mechanism the human body uses when we sweat. Water evaporates from the skin surface and carries heat with it. Moving air dramatically accelerates this process. Turn on a fan. Point it directly at your dog. Blast the air conditioning. Open windows if you're outside a building. One important note about humidity. In humid conditions, evaporation slows dramatically. The air is already saturated with moisture, so the water on your dog's skin has nowhere to go. In these conditions, a fan alone isn't enough. Air conditioning, which actively removes moisture from the air, becomes mandatory, not optional. The right way: small sips. Every few minutes. Cool tap water, not ice cold. The dangerous ways. Do not force water into your dog's mouth. Do not allow rapid gulping. This can cause bloating or vomiting. And never offer any water at all to a dog that is unconscious or severely groggy. Water can enter the airway and cause aspiration. And please, never, under any circumstances, give your dog human fever medicines. Ibuprofen is highly toxic to dogs. Paracetamol and acetaminophen are extremely toxic to dogs. Aspirin is harmful without veterinary guidance. These are not dosing questions, they are poison questions. Keep all human medications away from your dog during a heat emergency. This is the step people skip. It's the step that costs lives. Here's why you must go to the vet even after your dog appears to recover. Heat stroke causes internal damage that takes 12 to 48 hours to appear. Your dog can walk into the house, drink some water, lie down, and seem completely normal, and still be developing liver failure, kidney failure, or cerebral edema, brain swelling, on the inside. The gut lining can break down hours later, causing sudden bloody diarrhea. A clotting disorder called DIC, disseminated intravascular coagulation, can develop, causing internal bleeding. Rhabdomyolysis, the breakdown of muscle tissue, releases toxins into the bloodstream. Cardiac arrhythmias can develop without warning. None of this is visible. Only blood work can detect it. When you call the vet, and call ahead, not after you arrive, they will prepare for your arrival. Continue actively cooling your dog during transport. Keep the car air conditioning running on maximum. Do not stop cooling until you reach the clinic. The vet will almost certainly recommend 4 fluids. This is not optional comfort care. Heat stroke triggers a shock response in the body that sips of water at home cannot reverse. 4 fluids are often the difference between recovery and organ failure. One more thing. Stop cooling when your dog's temperature reaches 103.5 degrees Fahrenheit to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not overcool. Dropping temperature too far too fast risks hypothermia and a dangerous condition called temperature after drop, where the core temperature keeps falling even after you stop cooling. Watch the thermometer and ease off at the right moment. Place the back of your hand flat on the pavement and hold it there for 7 seconds. If you can't, if you pull your hand away because it burns, your dog should not be walking on that surface. Period. Here's why this matters more than you think. On a day when the air temperature is just 30 degrees Celsius 86 degrees Fahrenheit, asphalt pavement can reach 60 degrees Celsius 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to cook an egg. Your dog's paws, pressed directly onto that surface with every single step, are being burned and heated from below while the sun burns from above. The core prevention rules. Never leave your dog in a parked car, not even with windows cracked. The temperature inside a parked car can reach life-threatening levels in minutes. Avoid walks between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. during summer months. Walk early in the morning or late in the evening when pavement and air temperatures have dropped. Always carry cool water. Always walk in shade when possible. Use a cooling vest or cooling mat for high-risk dogs. Never muzzle a dog in hot weather. Panting is your dog's primary cooling mechanism. A muzzle blocks panting. A muzzled dog in the heat cannot cool itself and is in immediate danger. And ensure fresh water is always available indoors. Dogs who are even mildly dehydrated hit dangerous temperatures far faster. These 4 sentences could save your dog's life. Print them. Put them on your refrigerator. Screenshot this video. Share it with every dog owner you know, because this information isn't valuable when a dog is already in crisis. It's only valuable when you know it before. You now know what most dog owners don't. You know the science behind why ice water is dangerous. You know the emergency steps in the right order. You know why the vet visit matters even when your dog looks fine. Use this knowledge, because the next hot day is coming, and your dog is counting on you.